Hey there, Raul. Finally got to this. I'm looking at your green screen here, and I'm actually pretty impressed, as you said in your email. You're not using any editing software. You're sending it to someone else to do the editing, which is great. These people are going to be handle it. It kind of blew me away. You're using an iPhone 8 Pro Movie to record it, shutter speed at 30, your exposure set, etc. And your question, I guess, is can you do anything to make the green screen better or not? I must tell you, this is pretty nice footage to be shot on your iPhone. You got some really nice lighting. I'm very, very impressed with what you've done here. The thing I do want to show you a few things. Frankly, when I want to check a green screen, I can go into After Effects and I can do all sorts of fancy things, but when I want to check it, I go to Premiere Pro and I use an effect called Ultra Key. You can key things with Ultra Key. I do in a pinch if I were doing something for a client or something like that. I'd probably use After Effects. Basically, let's see what we got here. You just grab the key and you pull the green. Now that looks pretty good. There's a little noise over here. I'm going to show you a little trick I do. Hopefully I'm going to be able to show this to other people too. I am going to drop behind. Let's move this track up. I'm going to drop behind this just a plain old color. And that plain old color is going to be this pink. Okay, we'll grab this color matte. We'll drop it down here, and we'll drop in pink. Now, the reason why you use pink, this pinkish color, when keying, is because it is the furthest away from the green. So you can really see how things stand out. Now, let me show you something. And we're really getting into the nitty-gritty details here on this. I'm just trying to show you something. You probably don't need all this since you aren't doing the editing. But, hey, okay. So, right now it's set to default. Let's relax the key a bit. Now, you'll notice some of this noise around here, right? As we scroll through here. Can you see that noise in here? You see these areas here? Let me show you what's going on. Let's go into there. Now, immediately what happens when I switch to this alpha channel, I can see a couple of things. I can see there's some hot spots here, and I can also see what's happening is, sure, you're wearing a, quote, blue shirt, but this has a lot of green in it. So what's happening is when you look over here, look at all of that. All that's bleeding through. So if I were to put an image behind it, that's going to get funky. What you want it to look like, really, and again, editors can do this. We can play with this. You want it to look something like that. There's nothing showing through now on there. Now, I did set this on a relaxed, which I probably wouldn't do that either. So let's just go with the default Ultra Key. Not bad. Let's go back to this channel. That's not a bad key. Let's go back to the default. Let's pick this. Here's another trick. When people are pulling a key, they can click here. Let's take this off. You see all the noise? You can come back and go, well, let's try here. Oh, I get some noise up here. Let's try closer to your face. Ooh, that's much better. And there's hardly any noise in there. So that's what I would do. And you can click away. You can click up here. That looks pretty good. You can click over here. That looks pretty bad. And usually when you're pulling a key, you just want to click in different areas and get the best area you can. Usually people click really close like this. That's not bad. I can see a little noise here. Down in this area, down in this area. That's not hard to correct. Let's turn this back on. Not bad. And again, when you send this to your editor, since you're not editing itself, they're going to play with this. Let's go back in the alpha channel. can also do it this way, just with the alpha channel. And you can see what you end up with like this. See the difference? Now we're okay down here. It's kind of washed out up here. Well, let's try there. Maybe a little better over here. Yeah. What this is telling me is you have some hot spots here on your lights, and then there's some fall off here, and there's some fall off here. If I look at this, let's turn this off. If I look at the original green screen, I can almost see the hot spots over here and the hot spots over here. Now, for your purposes, you're going to have someone else do the key. You're not doing a lot of jumping around. You're just talking. You're just saying blah, 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 blah. Your arms don't go way outside of the frame. So what I would end up doing is let's do this again. I'm going to reset this. If I were going to key this, if I were going to key it an Alter key and you didn't care and it was a quick job, I'd click around here. I'd try and find, let's turn it back on. I just try and actually click pretty good. Then the next thing I do is I would go through and I would just create a mask like this. Whoops. Let's pull that down here. Let's pull this down here. Let's come up here. Let's come up here. Let's come up here. Maybe we move this point over here. So let's move this over here. Let's move this over here. Sure. And I would just probably just scrub through here. Make sure you don't, you fell out of the frame there. Let's pull this down. Let's give you some more room over here. You're okay there. Just barely touching there. Probably pull this out a little more. Now let's just assume that's good. Now what I've done is I've basically said, forget all this other stuff. I'm basically here, I'm showing you masking out everything. Yeah, there we go. What I've done is I've basically only masked this part. So all this noise over here, since you're not moving around, your arms aren't coming over here and coming over here. So all this noise over here, we can just totally disregard it. So let's take another look at Alter key. Turn that back on. There's our alpha channel. Looks pretty bad there, huh? Let's try and pull another. Let's try and pull another. That's a little bit better. Now, this is a really good key, but the thing is, as I told you, I would never wear this shirt. That's the problem you're running into, is all this stuff is going to look really weird. I can correct it and I can play games with it. Let's see if we can pull some of this out. Just see as I do that, I'm introducing some more noise over here. We might be able to mess with this a little bit. Okay, so that is not bad. Now I have a key that, assuming that's okay, it should totally work. I do see, if you'll see while I'm scrubbing, just watch up in here, you'll see some noise occurring, right? And I don't know what that's from. That may be from, hopefully you have locked down your white balance and things like that, because if you just go on auto white balance, as you move a little bit and change, things are going to change, your lights are going to change, and you're probably hitting, you might be hitting some shadows over here or whatever. All in all, this is not a bad key. I've masked you out. I've adjusted it. Let me go see if I can find a background somewhere. We'll throw something in there. Let's throw you on this. Let's do this. So what we're going to do is we're going to move this back up here. And we're going to, see that? Turn off this layer here. And we're going to expand this like that. Let's say the floor wouldn't really be there, but let's say it's there. So now you're getting there. You're looking kind of good. Here you are talking. You got a background, and you see that noise right there? That's some noise right there. So we could probably take that out too. Not a big deal, not a hard deal. Let's go back into the alpha channel. Yeah, we're getting some noise right in here. Probably what I would do, let's turn that off. Yeah, you can see some of this noise in here. Let's just take a preset and see what happens. We got rid of our noise. Let's see if we can lose some of the shirt stuff and just go right there. It's not bad. It's a little tight, not a lot of hair follicles. What I can do is I can go down here to this matte cleanup. Maybe I choke it by 20 and then soften it by 20, and that'll give a little softer edges. Let's turn our background back on. Yeah, see, this doesn't look bad. Now what I would do with this is I'd come in and probably, again, this is all quick, go fast. I just want to see what's happening. Let's add a blur to the background right here. This is a little trick that will really help you stand out a little bit. So we add a little bit of blur in the background. Not too much, but just enough. See how that pulls you out? There's before, there's after. There's before, there's after. So if you add just a little bit of blur, what happens is it looks like you're legitimately there, standing there. It looks like you're pulled off the back wall. Now, let's go find, let's stick you in front of, oh, I don't know, data center? In front of this. How about that? We'll just drop this thing in here. This should be interesting. Let's get him out of the way. Let's move you up one more again. Let's throw that back there. It's going to look kind of strange. And we just zoom this up because we don't care. Okay, now you're in a little pipe room of thing. And again, I would take a blur to pull you out like this. And I'd blur this thing up. That's probably way too much. But I would definitely add just a little bit of blur like that. And then it looks like you're in there. Again, I just wanted to show you some things. For recording this in 4K on an iPhone 8 in Pro Movie, shutter speed of 30, exposure is fine. For you recording this on the fly and expecting someone else to pull the key on this, you've done an excellent job of shooting it. Now you can see where the hotspot is here, the hotspot is here. I wouldn't mess with it. If you send this to someone who's going to key this, you're not doing a lot of moving around. I think you've done an excellent job of lighting this. I think you've done an excellent job of shooting this. I'm really impressed. The focus is almost pretty much dead on. The thing I would not do is I would not wear a green or a blue shirt that has any green or possibility of blue in it. I'd wear something different. You could wear a white shirt. You could wear anything like that. The other thing they can do is, like, I can go through and I can grab you and I can say, you know what, I just actually like you over here, right? Or I can put you over here, like if I have titles and things like that. Anyway, the point is, you did a really good job here. I do want to look at one thing. Yeah, you've done a good job. Usually you see a lot of spill happening here. I don't see a lot of that occurring. There's just a touchy tad of green over here. I don't think you're gonna see that. Just a touch. That's called spill. Yeah, see, just a touch of green here. Where you get that from is that's called spill. So what's happening is some of the green is just you're close to the screen. Some of the green is just barely hitting the edges here. Some of the green is just hitting the edges of your arm, but look at this key. I mean, I can see the little hair follicles on your arm. You've done a good job, sir. I don't think you need to worry about this at all, especially if you're sending someone to edit it. they should be able to bang you out, especially if they're using something like Premiere Pro. They could just bang it right out, and there is nothing absolutely wrong with this. I could put you in anything. The other thing I could do is if I go into After Effects, I could really clean up this green and some of the spill. You've done a great job for not having an editor, for not being able to see what you're pulling. I'm impressed. This is good stuff, sir. You've done a good job here. You could also go through and ask him if you'd like. You can do things like color correction, like for instance, you could ask them to go in and just mess with the colors a little bit. Crush these blacks down a little bit, and that'll pull some of the green out. I can maybe make you a little bit brighter, not too much, just a little bit, because we are in a white room. Maybe play with that. That's probably too bright. But now we have you in this room. Yeah, that's too bright. But now we have you in this room, rather bright room, and it looks great. Well done. I don't have any suggestions for you. I would tell you to move further away from the screen. I tell you to handle the hotspots on here. I tell you all sorts of things. But frankly, what you've done on an iPhone 8 is amazing. I would keep my arms in. I wouldn't flail my arms around and stuff like that. But you've done a really good job. Well done to you. I hope this helps. And let me know if you have any more questions, and I'll answer them.